Good evening and welcome to Bobby Holcomb Field. I'm Andrew Spraggins, joined alongside by CTV News reporter Thomas Murphy as the 6-2 Oxford Chargers take on the Corinth Warriors. Thomas, it's been a pretty good season for the Chargers so far. They started out with the season 3-0-1. They took a loss from the number 5 team in the nation, Madison Central, fell to Clinton, but after that it's gone pretty well for the Chargers.
Definitely. After the loss to Clinton, the Chargers tied Florence, but after that they've dominated. They beat West Point at home 8-0, beat New Hope 4-3, and they blew the doors off Crosstown Classic rival Lafayette 8-0.
That's right. One of those wins earlier this season was against the Corinth Warriors. The Chargers won that 4-1, so I'm sure Corinth has a little revenge on their minds.
That's definitely something that will help the team play a little harder tonight.
Let's talk a little bit about Corinth. Their record sits at 9-6-1 right now. They've had some good wins this year: Hernando, South Pontotoc, Senatobia, and Alcorn Central. They've been led by junior Graves Marshall, who scored 11 goals in 11 games. Other guys who have had an impact on the season are junior John Michael McFall, senior Fletcher Hall, and senior Brandon Robertson. So it's a good group of guys, and it should make for an interesting game.
It'll definitely be a good one.
Ball's quickly be taken up to the field by number 10, Edward Terry. It's kicked out by a Warrior player. The ball will be thrown into the center and headed out by Warrior players. Ball kicked out, resulting in the Corinth throw-in. Ball thrown in by outside right defender for Corinth, headed by number 2 and headed back by Nolan Parham. The ball's going to be bobbled and taken down by Corinth, but taken away by Oxford. And it's going to be cleared out to number 3, Nolan Parham, taken by Ty Barber, passed up the middle, taken by Corinth. Ball's going to be quickly passed to outside Corinth midfielder, passed up to the forward, and it's going to be kicked out by number 10 on Corinth, resulting in an Oxford throw-in. So Thomas, tell me what you think about the start of this game so far.
It really looks like Corinth's really pushing on the Oxford defense. They're going to need to slow it down a little bit to keep them out of the zone. And so Oxford needs to also put a little bit of pressure on the defense.
Looks like they're going to have a switch of soccer balls right now. And throw will be taken by number 2, Hayden Stewart. Ball thrown in over the head of Edward Terry, attempted to be cleared out by a Corinth player, and it'll be out, resulting in an Oxford throw-in, just a little bit past the halfway point. Ball thrown in again, past to Edward Terry. It's going to be taken by Corinth, and it's quickly being taken up the field. And Corinth is going to be continued taking up the field, and it's going to be taken and kicked out by Oxford, resulting in a Corinth throw. Throw will be taken by number 2. Ball quickly thrown in with a quick give and go and passed up the field to number 20, who's going to chip it up, and it's going to be a run for it, and it's going to be kicked out, resulting in an Oxford throw-in. Given to Nolan Parham. It's going to be quickly fed across to Gavin Douglas, who's going to be kicking it up the field. And it's going to be kicked out by a Corinth player, thrown in by number 11, Dion Kevin, to the center. Number 3, Nolan Parham. It's going to be passed back by number 10, Edward Terry. It's going to be passed back to the defense, and it's going to be switched to number 16, Gavin Douglas, who's going to look for the clear. Passed up to number 22, and it's going to be passed around the field. Kicked across up the field to number 22, Hunter Stewart, who's going to be chasing it down, but slides, and the ball is kicked out, resulting in a Corinth throw-in. Thrown up, pressure by Nolan, who's going to give it to Hunter Stewart, kicked up, and they're going to lose control, and Corinth is going to quickly kick it up the field. headed by Gavin Douglas to Ty Barber, who's going to pass it back to Gavin, who's going to juggle it midair and chip it over to Dion Kevin, and he's going to break through, and Gavin Douglas is pressuring, but it's going to be kicked out by number 3, resulting in an Oxford throw-in. What do you think about this Oxford pressure here, Thomas?
It's been really nice. It was a great little move right there by Gavin Douglas to make up the field. He would have been really close to getting a goal if he'd broken free. Unfortunate, though.
Mm-hmm. Throw-in taken by number 11, Dion Kevin, who's going to throw it to the middle of the field. It's going to be taken down, by number 10, Edward Terry. Inside the box, he's going to twist the field, and it's going to be kicked out by Corinth to number 18, who's going to quickly attempt to clear it up the field. And the ball is going to be recovered and then kicked out by Corinth. Ball thrown in to number 10, Edward Terry, who's going to sprint down, try to attempt to cross. And he's going to get around the first Corinth player, but then kicked out by the second. And Corinth's going to clear the ball up the field, but intercepted by Ty Barber, who's going to attempt to cross, but is blocked. And he passes to Edward Terry. Edward Terry looking for the cross. He crosses it in, but it's going to be kicked out by Corinth. And taken down by Hayden Stewart in the middle of the field. Baxter Elliott's got the play, and it's taken by Corinth, number 15. Ball is passed up by number 20. And Corinth's going to continue to move the ball up the field, cross to the center of the field. And Gavin Douglas is going to take the ball around midfield. He's dribbling up. He's going to pass to the center, Dion Kevin. Back to Hunter Stewart, number 22, who's going to dribble it up, and he's going to be taken by Corinth, taken back by number 11, Dion Kevin. And there's a foul called a little bit outside the 18. It's going to result in a Corinth kick. The ball's been pretty fast-paced. What do you think about their passing, though?
It appears to be on accurate sometimes, but I think they just need to warm up a little bit more. Seem a little bit out of pace.
Ball's going to be kicked up by number 17 and taken down by number 10, Edward Terry, who's going to dribble around, and it's going to be kicked out by Corinth player number 2.
Edward Terry is a really unique player. He's a great striker. He can shoot with both feet, left and right foot. Great crosser, and he's very fast. He's a very dangerous weapon for this Oxford High School team.
The throw-in taken by number 2, Hayden Stewart, will be thrown in a long ways downfield. Number 11, Dion Kevin, who's going to fight for the ball, and it's going to be kicked out by Corinth again, resulting in an Oxford throw-in. Throw-in taken by number 2, Hayden Stewart again. Looks like he's going to either attempt to put it in the center or down the field to Edward Terry. And it's going to be thrown to the center, and it's going to be close to Hunter Stewart, but it's going to be thrown out of bounds, resulting in a goal kick. I tell you, the arm on Hayden and Hunter Stewart is very impressive. They can get the ball very far up the field, and it's almost as if it's a corner kick.
As well as Dion Kevin, he can really chunk the ball downfield.
Goal kick clearing the ball up the field, but it's going to be headed back towards the Corinth goal. It's going to be chipped to number 7, Ty Barber, who passes to Hunter Stewart, back into the center, and it's going to be headed by Corinth, but the ball is going to be taken again by Oxford. And the ball is taken back by Corinth, and both teams will be fighting for the ball very hardly. It's going to be resulting in a foul and a little roughhousing on the field, but quickly separated by the referee.
What's interesting here is Corinth is making the ball up to the right side of the field, but then they're bringing their defender up, number 11, up to the left side of the field. So maybe what they're trying to do is switch the fields and effectively catch Oxford off, so they can go in and score. It's actually a very good tactic right there.
What we saw there is number, I believe, 18 receive a yellow card for what appears to be unsportsmanlike behavior. And it's going to be a free kick for Corinth, placed around the midfield mark.
What Oxford needs to be careful of right here is a big kick downfield. These guys are fast, but so is their defense, so it could come to the races. Feels like the referee had a little talk right there with the Corinth coach, but it seems to be all right now.
Ball kicked up by number 17, and it's going to be passed through and kicked, and it's going to be just over the goal. resulting in an Oxford goal kick.
Another really good player out there tonight is Henry Webb. He's the goalie. He's big, he's strong, and he can definitely get all over the goal. His punts generally go from half field out, so Corinth really needs to watch his kicks.
Goal kick taken by Henry Webb. It's going to be kicked at almost exactly half field to Nolan Parham, who's going to be pressured by Corinth, and the ball will be taken, and it appears to be a foul. That'll be called against Oxford, resulting in a Corinth kick.
Substitution, Dylan Rydell appears to be ready to come in. Not sure who he'll come out, but Nolan Parham has come out, and Dylan Rydell is now playing midfielder.
Tell me what you think about all these fouls being called, Thomas.
Oxford's generally a very rough team. They're very aggressive and like to get their bodies on the ball, but it happens every game. You can't really tell. Sometimes it's dirty, sometimes it's not.
Ball kicked out by number 2, Hayden Stewart, resulting in a Corinth throw-in. Ball's going to be taken cross in the center, and it's going to be kicked out, resulting in an Oxford goal kick.
Another substitution right here. Noland is coming in for number 3. Noland is coming in for number 11, Dion Kevin. It's going to be interesting to see what Noland does right here. So they move Baxter up to forward, and now Noland is playing midfielder.
Goal kick taken by number 0, Henry Webb. And the ball is going to be taken by Corinth near half field, passed up, but is going to be taken again by Oxford, and possession of the ball is slipping back and forth. And it appears to be that Oxford's going to Corinth is going to end up with possession, and is going to clear it up the field. Number 6, Dylan Rydell, is going to take the ball and is going to be called against. It's going to be a Corinth throw-in. It'll result in a Corinth kick for what appears to be a shove in the back by Dylan Rydell. Kick taken by number 3. It's going to be headed out by William Mayo to Corinth player number unknown, and it's going to be a swing and a miss for number 11, and it's going to result in an Oxford throw-in. Throw-in will be taken by Gavin Douglas to number 2, Hayden Stewart. Pass back to Barber, and it's going to be knocked out by a Corinth player number 23, resulting in another Oxford throw-in.
Oxford needs to be really careful in the zone right here. If they lose the ball, they could look at it straight away down to the goalie. It could end up in a goal. So it's really critical to make sure they get the ball on field.
The ball is thrown in to number 17, Baxter Elliott, who flicks it out, and it's going to be taken by Hayden Stewart down the field, and it's going to be a race, and it appears to be kicked inbounds to number 22, Hunter Stewart, and kicked out, headed backward by Gavin, and it's going to be cleared up by West to number 3, Parham, and it's going to be cleared up by Elliott. And the ball is finally kicked out by Corinth near the halfway point, resulting in an Oxford throw-in.
A lot of balls in the air tonight. They really need to settle down right now.
Throwing up the field to number 10. And it's going to be taken upfield and cleared out by Corinth. What do you think about Oxford's pace today, Thomas?
They've been really nice today. They've been weaving in and out a lot, trying to get down the field. They've also been working down the sideline trying to get that cross in.
Ball thrown in and taken by Corinth goalkeeper, and it's going to be cleared up the field. Ball kicked by number 7 to Hunter Stewart. It's going to be taken by Corinth, who's going to clear it down the middle of the field and taken back by Parham. Then to Barber, who with pressure is going to be taken by Baxter. And Corinth is going to race down the sideline, number 10, and it's going to be cleared out by number 5-3 Parham. And the ball is taken by Hunter Stewart, who's going to pass it around. He's going to be sprinting down, but he can't get there, and Corinth is going to kick it out, but then taken by number 17, and it's going to be kicked over the goal for a Corinth goal kick.
Really got to focus on a moment like this. It's very hard to score sometimes in these games. It's going to be a Corinth goal kick by number 3. Deep kick downfield. It appears to be going midfield. Is quickly intercepted. Headed right back up to the offense.
And that ball is going to be cleared out by Corinth, taken by number 22 Stewart, who's going to throw it into Baxter, number 17, chested down and cleared out by Corinth again. It'll be taken by 22 Stewart again. And Parham will head it over. And Parham takes it again in the center of the field, where it's kicked out by Corinth, and number 10 taking it again, seeming to buy time, and past to 23, but intercepted by 5 Elliott. Parham's going to clear it up the field again and kicked out by Corinth to the middle of the field. Parham again with the ball, making a short pass to Gavin Douglas, who's going to clear it up the field to number 22, Hunter Stewart, who's going to be going for the goal, but he's going to be outrun by number 3 defender for Corinth, resulting in Oxford throw-in.
Oxford touches have really been off tonight. Too hard of a pass. They really got to fix that. If they manage to do that, they should be set for the game. A lot of substitutions tonight. Baxter Elliott coming out for number 12, Tristan Norman. He's one of the few sophomore players who are starting this year.
Throw-in taken by Stewart to the center of the goal. It's going to be headed by Terry and kicked out by number 17, Corinth. But it's going to be taken by Barber, who's going to dribble up and pass it up to Terry, and it's going to be chested down and cleared out by Corinth defender. Ball is then handled by 5 Mayo, who clears it to Douglas, who's going to clear it up to 22 Stewart, past the 2 Stewart, and crossed into number 10 Terry, and the ball will be finished by number 12, and it's going to be recovered by the Corinth goalkeeper.
A lot of congestion. It looks like the Corinth players are really surrounding the Oxford players when it gets down to defense, so it's going to be really hard to get a shot off tonight.
Ball is taken by 21 Snellgrove, but taken back by Corinth, who's going to be passing up the field. Kicked up to a forward who's going to be called offsides, but the ball is still blocked by goalkeeper Webb. The kick will be taken by Webb. Ball cleared up. It'll be taken down by Corinth player, who will quickly lose control to Orman. Douglas taking the ball, passing it to 2 Stewart, who's going to clear it to the center. Taken by 22 Stewart, and it's going to be cleared out, but quickly get regained by number 6 Rydell, who's going to be taken up the field and kicked out by Corinth, resulting in an Oxford throw-in.
Another interesting 2 players tonight are Hayden and Hunter Stewart, twins, in fact, playing out there tonight. Both are very effective at playing. There's also 2 substitutions. Hunter Stewart is coming out for Baxter Elliott, number 17, and Terry is coming out for number 4, Hilliard.
Ball is headed by number 12 Orman and cleared out by Corinth. It's going to result in an Oxford throw-in midway from the 18.
Oxford has the ball, quickly moving the ball around the field. Ball's past number 16, Douglas, who's moving up the field, looks to the pass, but he doesn't, holds onto the ball. Great little pass right there to number 3, Nolan Parham, who takes a wild shot and puts the ball over the goal. It's really interesting tonight how Oxford has been attacking. They've been attacking from all over the place, so there's been shots in the box, outside the box, crosses in. What do you think about that, Andy?
Well, it seems that the majority of the game has been spent really near the Corinth 18, but it just doesn't seem like Oxford can finish.
Right. But also Corinth has had a few chances tonight. Had he not been caught off sides, that would have been a very interesting way to see how that ball would have turned out.
Mm-hmm. Goal kick taken by number 17 for Corinth. Cleared up the field. It's going to be taken down by a Corinth player, but quickly recovered by number 3, Parham, who's going to chip it up to number 4, Hilliard, and taken again by Parham, who's going to pass it back to 7, Barber, who's going to dribble the ball, take it up the field. It's going to continue taking it up the field, cross it in, number 4, Hilliard, and it can't be finished and cleared out by Corinth, but it's going to quickly be taken by Douglas, who's going to pass it to the center and taken by number 10 for Corinth. And they're going to be moving the ball up the field. Ball is passed to number 6, Dylan Rydell, who's going to clear the ball up the field and will be taken again by Hilliard. The ball will be cleared out and it will result in an Oxford throw-in.
Cortland Barnes is an interesting weapon out there tonight. He's very fast. He can take off down the sideline. He runs track and plays football, so he's a very interesting player out there tonight.
Throw-in taken by number 17, Baxter Elliott, to 7, Barber. It's going to be headed out by Corinth and taken down by number 10. Ball's going to be passed in and out by Corinth around midfield. Pass back and pass upward to number 11, who's going to take it, but the ball will be taken by William Mayo and cleared out to number 17, Elliott. Douglas is then going to chip it up, and it's going to be a race up to the top, and it's going to be kicked out by Corinth player number 3, resulting in an Oxford throw-in.
Again, as you saw, number 11, who's on defense, was going up the field, so it's going to be interesting to see how Oxford will react to this play.
Throw-in taken by number 16, Gavin Douglas.
Substitution on the play, Hunter Stewart coming in for Nolan Parham.
Short throw-in to number 17, Elliott, who's going to dribble around, cross it in, and the ball is going to be quickly kicked out by Corinth. Ball around midfield being passed back by number 23 to 17. It's going to be cleared up the sideline. The ball is then going to be kicked up and taken by 21, Snellgrove. But taken again by Corinth. It's going to dribble around. It's going to be dribbling down the field. One-on-one with Mayo, cleared into the center. And it's going to be stopped by number 6, Rydell, resulting in an Oxford goal kick.
Oxford cannot have miscommunications like that. Snellgrove should have kicked that ball out. He should not have waited. That could have resulted in a Corinth goal.
That was one bad touch from becoming a Corinth goal.
We're in the 17th minute here at Oxford. If you're just now joining us, it is still 0-0 and it is the first quarter. It appears that Baxter Elliott is about to be coming in on the sideline. A booming kick by Henry Webb sends the ball upfield to number 22, Stewart. It's going to result in a Corinth throw-in.
Throw-in pass into number 18. Pressure by Oxford. Ball is going to be sent to number 7 back in the back for Corinth, but quickly taken by 17, Elliott. Number 4, Barnes got the ball dribbling up and is going to be taken down and cleared out by Corinth, resulting in an Oxford corner kick.
Another shot like that, you can't keep putting these balls with the goal. You have to put them in the back of the net. If Corinth scores a goal right here before going into halftime, it's really going to put Oxford down, so it's going to be hard to come back into this game.
Corner kick being set up by number 2, Hayden Stewart.
Oxford's very deadly on these corner kicks. They got some big guys who put that ball in the goal.
Taken by Hayden Stewart. It's going to be headed by number 22, Hunter Stewart, and headed out of bounds, resulting in a Corinth goal kick.
Maybe one of the reasons that Oxford is having a hard time controlling the ball up there tonight is because it's very cold outside. It's about 38 degrees, so the ball is going to be rock hard, and the grass is going to make it very slippery to control.
Goal kick taken, and it's going to be controlled by Barnes and headed out by Corinth. Ball is in game control and kicked out by Corinth defense, resulting in an Oxford throw-in. Ball kicked out by Corinth. It's going to be quickly passed up, but pressured by Hayden Stewart. Hayden Stewart's going to gain control, start dribbling down. Going to cross it in, and it's going to be taken by Douglas, who's going to be dribbling into the goal, passes to Barnes, pressured and tripped, and it's going to be kicked out. Number 6, Rydell's gain control, passing around the back to number 5, Mayo, who's going to clear it up the field to number 7, Baxter Elliott, who's going to have wide open space, and he appears to be taking a shot, and is going to miss just by a hair and go out of bounds, resulting in a Corinth throw-in.
Very close shot right there. I actually thought that Cortland Barnes was going to put that ball in, but he just didn't get there in time. Substitution, Tris Norm is coming out, and Nolan Parham is going to be coming back in.
Ball is thrown in and headed by Corinth player up to number 10, who's going to be sprinting down, but it appears the ball is going to be gained control by Douglas, but he can't get there in time, and it's going to result in a Corinth throw-in about halfway from the midway point.
Number 10, Graves Marshall, is a very fast player out there. He could score if he gets the chance.
Ball taken by number 15 for Corinth, but it's going to be taken by Terry, who passed up to Elliott, who's going to be dribbling up the sideline. And he's going to look for the cross, but continue dribbling. And it's going to be crossed into Terry, number 10, who's going to attempt to pass the left foot, but it's going to be kicked out by Corinth. Ball taken by number 2, Hayden, is going to kick, resulting in a Corinth goal kick. The ball is sent halfway upfield. It's going to be kicked by number 7, Barber, who's going to pass it to 22, Stewart. And it's going to be taken by Corinth, who's going to pass it to 6, Rydell. Back to 3, Parham. Ball is then kicked up and recovered by the goalkeeper.
Very dangerous right there. Had Corinth hit the ball with their foot and passed it back to the goalie, that could have resulted in a penalty shot.
Ball is punted upfield and headed by number 7, Barber, who's going to be taking it up the field, and Corinth is going to kick it back up. Number 16, Douglas, dribbling up the field, passes it wide to number 10, Terry, who's going to lose his balance for a second, and Douglas is going to go in to pass it to 3, Parham, back to Elliott, and it's going to be kicked out by Corinth, resulting in an Oxford throw-in. Excuse me, it's going to result in a Corinth throw-in.
Corinth really needs to focus on getting the ball in the Oxford half of the field. They really need to get up there so they can get a chance to score. If they don't do that, it's going to be really hard to get back into this game.
Oxford also needs to focus on their finishing. The ball has been in their been in the Corinth half for the majority of the game, but they can't seem to put the ball in the back of the net. Ball is kicked upfield. Be headed down by number 6, Rydell. And that's going to result in a Corinth kick in the Oxford half.
Really critical kick right here. If they could get the ball downfield and attempt and at least try to score, that should at least help with the game.
Ball kicked up by number 17. It's going to be crossed up, headed down by 5, Mayo, and it's going to be cleared out by 2, Hayden Stewart. It's going to be headed by Baxter. Upfield, taken down by Corinth. And ball is going to be controlled by Rydell, who's going to chip it up to Stewart, who's got wide open space in front of him, but is going to pass back to 10, Terry, who's going to look for the cross it into Baxter Elliott, who's going to attempt to clear it out. Ball is taken by 7, Barber, who's going to be dribbling up, looking for the goal, is going to cross it inward but can't find anybody, and ball is going to be taken by 18 for Corinth. Dribbling up the field, passed up to 10. Snowgrove passing back to goalie Webb, who's going to clear the ball up. He's going to be headed up by Douglas, and taken by Terry, who's going to dribble down the field. Going to do a nice move there, dribbling towards the center. He's going to look to chip it up, but is going to be stopped by Corinth, and is going to be kicked up to Corinth number 20. Ball is intercepted by 16, Douglas, who's going to be clearing it to the center, and taken by Hunter Stewart, who's going to look for the goal, but is taken again by Corinth defense, and is quickly taken by Stewart, and it's going to be kicked just wide of the goal, resulting in a Oxford goal kick.
Great play by the goalie there. He really got his body out in front of the ball, so it would have been very hard to actually score on him unless he chipped the ball.
Score is still 0-0, but there have been very, very close calls regarding goals.
Interesting conversation out there. Oxford believes it's supposed to be a corner kick, but the referee disagrees and says it's actually a goal kick.
Goal kick taken. Appears to be some confusion on the field.
The referee was not ready for the kick, so they are indeed retaking the kick.
And with the referee's whistle, the goal kick will be taken again, kicked upfield and taken down by number 7, Barber, who's going to head it up to 17 by 12 for Oxford. The ball being bobbled around. It's going to be kicked up by Corinth, but with pressure from Ty Barber, they're going to lose control. Elliott's going to pass back to 16, Douglas, to Parham, back to Mayo, who's going to cross the field to Snowgrove. Snowgrove looking for a pass, can't find it. He's dribbling and he passes it to 12, Orman, who's going to clear it up to the top. And Elliott's going to appear to pressure number 3. The ball will be taken by Elliott, who's going to do a nice spin move. And it's very pressured by number 3. It should be cleared out by 16, Douglas. Ball's going to be thrown in and headed out by 3, Parham. Corinth quickly going to gain recovery. It's going to pass out wide back to number 2 for Corinth. And it's going to be taken by number 17, who's going to be dribbling up and clearing it up, but the ball is going to be taken by Webb, and it'll be punted downfield. Ball is going to be punted up and headed by number 7, Barber. Ball is then going to be taken by number 3. Corinth is going to gain recovery again.
Great throw in there, right there by Corinth, but it's again kicked out by Oxford, so it's going to be another Corinth throw in very deep in Oxford territory.
With the score still 0-0, any goal can be a game changer. Ball thrown in by number 18 for Corinth, and it's going to be kicked out and result in an Oxford throw-in. Substitution there. Number 2, Hayden Stewart, is going to be replacing his brother Hunter Stewart for center forward.
Oxford or Corinth really need to score going into the half, or it's very important to score because it'll put the other team down and also raise the spirits of the team.
Ball's going to be kicked out again, resulting in an Oxford throw-in. Ball's going to be headed by number 2 to the center of the field, and is going to be taken by number 3, Palm, passing to 12, Orman. The ball is going to be recovered by Corinth and taken, pass to the center of the field. He's got wide open space, going to pass, quick pass to the center, taken by Orman again, who's going to clear it up to number 2, Hayden Stewart, and it's going to be kicked out, resulting in a Corinth throw-in. What do you think about this Corinth offense?
It's been really effective in other games, but tonight Oxford's really been able to put a stop to their offense. They need to really control the ball more and make sure they have other people upfield. Generally, it's just been one player moving upfield against 3 guys. It's very hard to get by 3 people and then go in and score on a good goalie like Henry Webb.
It just doesn't seem also that Corinth can put the numbers up top. It's 3 guys going against 5 or 6 Oxford guys.
Right. Oxford has 3 strikers upfield, but they also have those 3 midfielders who move around. You got the upper midfielder and the 2 left and right midfielder who will cover for sides, and also one will go up top. So it's a very interesting formation.
Ball's going to be kicked upfield and chased down by Wes Snellgrove. However, the ball will be kicked out, resulting in an Oxford throw-in.
Substitution on the play, number 11, Dion Coven, coming in for number 12, Tristan Orman.
With only 4 minutes left in the half, it's going to be a very tense couple minutes remaining.
The most important time to score a goal is in the ending part of the half. If you can score then, it'll put the other team down and you'll be able to get ahead.
It'll be a Corinth throw-in near the Oxford 18, thrown in to a Corinth player wide, crossed in, but is unable to be finished, but crossed back in, missing the goal narrowly and taken down by Oxford and cleared out number 6 Rydell. Corinth will gain control of the ball. Number 2 is going to pass up wide, as again the pressure is going to increase. However, they just can't seem to pass it up.
Great opportunity there by Corinth player. Just missed the goal. Very close. Henry Webb might have been caught off guard a little bit by that, but he still managed to recover and get the ball out.
Ball thrown in by Corinth to the center of the field, and it's going to be cleared out to number 17, Elliott, who's going to look to clear the ball up, but is taken by Corinth again, and ball is going to be fought over and is going to result in a Corinth free kick.
Less than 3 minutes in this half. Oxford really needs to get the pressure on and score.
If I had Oxford, I'd be a little worried right now. It seems that Corinth is really increasing the pressure. I haven't seen this all half. Ball is going to be cleared up. Number 16, Douglas, is going to clear it out to number 17, Elliott, who's going to attempt to control the ball, but is going to result in a Corinth throw-in at half field.
Number 7 makes his way upfield, but the ball is quickly taken away from him by Parham, who's making his way up the field. Corinth then again takes the ball back.
Douglas quickly gaining control on the right side. It's going to be passed up to Kevin, who's going to attempt to finish, but it's going to be cleared out by Corinth number 3, resulting in an Oxford corner kick.
This is Oxford's time to score. If they don't score here, it's going to be very hard to score in this half with only 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the game. Number 2, Hayden Stewart, to take the kick.
It is crossed midfield A little far, headed out by Corinth, but taken down by Parham, who's going to dribble around looking for the shot, but then cleared out by Corinth again. 21 Snellgrove is going to pass to Mayo, who's going to feed it to Ty Barber down the middle, taken by Corinth again. Pressure by Parham, and the ball is going to be given to Corinth, and that is going to result in an Oxford kick. There seems to be a little pushing in the field there.
Under a minute left in the game. If Oxford's going to score, they got to do it now.
Kick taken by number 5, William Mayo. Kicked up, headed to Hayden Stewart, taken down by the goalie. Corinth clearing the ball up to 23, center forward. It's going to be taken down by Mayo, who's going to head it to 3 Parham. Over to Hayden Stewart, over to Douglas, who's going to pass it down the middle to Hayden Stewart, who's going to be dribbling up the field, taking on Corinth defenders, going to be taking a touch, and it's going to be taken by Corinth, passed up, and it's going to be passed to center 23, who's going to feed it right down the middle. It's going to be a race between Snellgrove and number 21 on Corinth, and it's going to be taken by Webb, who's going to look for the roll. Seconds remaining in the half. And that's the first half of play. The score is still 0-0. Stick around for the second half.
Welcome back to the second half of the Corinth Oxford Charger game. The score is still 0-0. It's going to be interesting to see how Oxford comes out tonight, because Oxford usually has a very big output of goals. What do you think about that, Andrew?
Sorry about that, folks. We had a little technical difficulty. And it looks like we're getting ready to go. Kickoff will be taken by Corinth this half. And like you said, Thomas, the score is still 0-0, so I predict it'll be a very close match, a very close, low-scoring match coming up, very tense.
Hopefully. Well, if Corinth really gets out there, they have very good offensive players such as Graves Marshall, who scored 11 goals in 11 games. They've effectively shut him out tonight, but the defense for Corinth has also shut out the very powerful Oxford defense. Offense. It's going to be interesting out to see how things come out in the second half.
I feel like we're doing very impressively on defense. We're actually a stack back there, but I feel like we're losing a lot of force that's coming up with the offense, because usually Oxford has very high-scoring games, but this game we just can't seem to find a foothold there. Last time we played Corinth, we won 4-1, but this game's still 0-0.
My guess is Corinth has been training very hard to get back at Oxford tonight.
And with that, the start of the second half, it'll be passed back to Corinth player, passed right back up, and control will be taken by Oxford. Pass to Hayden Stewart. It's going to be passed back to Nolan. Pass back again to Rydell, who's going to pass it up back to Parham. And it's going to be cleared up to number 17. And 22, Hunter Stewart's going to be going for the goal. It's going to be taken. It's going to be blocked by Corinth goalkeeper and to be kicked out, resulting in an Oxford throw-in.
Great vision right there by number 10, Edward Terry. Great ball to put that ball through there. And also very close to scoring. Great play by the goalie.
That's really impressive. They can do that with just a one-on-one with the ball. Throw-in taken by number 22, Hunter Stewart, to the center of the goal. It's going to be headed across by number 10, and it's going to be headed out across the goal line, resulting in a goal kick for for Corinth, excuse me. Goal kick taken by number 17. It's going to be taken down by Ty Barber, who's going to be pressured by Corinth. Is going to kick it up to number 2, Hayden Stewart, who's going to clear it up again. It's going to be taken down by the Corinth goalkeeper. It's going to be punted, and it's going to land around half field, taken down by Barber, who's going to chest it to a Corinth player. It'll be taken wide by Corinth, who is crossing across to number 18, who's going to pass it back, and it's going to be passed to the center, taken by Ty Barber, who's going to give it to number 2, Hayden Stewart. Again, taken by Stewart. It's going to be passed to Barber, who's going to pass it wide for number 22, Hunter Stewart, and it's going to be kicked out, resulting in a Corinth throw-in.
It looks like Oxford's really found a chink in the Corinth's offense, or defense, excuse me. They've really been working the outside, and every time they've worked that outside right side, they've really gotten through and close to the goal. So it would be interesting to see how they exploit this, or if they're just going to let it slide.
I don't know what happened over the halftime, but Oxford is just coming out guns. Excuse me.
Coming out really hard there. I guess their coaches gave them really good pep talk. So the ball is rarely left. It rarely left the ball rarely left the Corinth's defensive side the entire half. But now they're really pressuring them. Appears to be a kick, an offensive Oxford free kick.
Kick will be taken by number 5, Mayo. Kick will be kicked up around the 18. It's going to be headed by multiple players. It's going to be kicked out by Corinth goalkeeper. And going to be taken by number 11, who's going to attempt to kick it out, but it's going to be deflected off Oxford player and kicked out by number 7. Douglas is going to control the ball, but it's going to be quickly taken by Corinth, who's going to be dribbling and passing up the left side of the field. Douglas again back at taking the ball. Going to pass number 3, Parham, who's going to chip it up. Stewart running for it. It's going to be crossed into number 17, but it's going to be kicked out by the Corinth goalie.
Great hustle there by Douglas. He lost the ball, but he ran back, hustled back to get the ball, and managed to make a great play up there.
Ball thrown in, and it's going to be headed out again by Corinth, resulting in an Oxford corner kick. You know what I've been really impressed with is the Corinth goalkeeper. He's really been able to throw himself into the heat of the play.
Yes, there's been some opportunities where Oxford should have scored, but that goalie has been outstanding tonight.
Corner kick taken by number 2, Hayden Stewart. It's going to be crossed in, and it's going to be taken out by Corinth. The ball is going to be recovered by Mayo, who's going to pass it back to 3, Parham, but it's going to be missed, and Corinth is going to receive control of the ball, who's going to pass it up, taken by 21, Snellgrove, who's going to pass across to 17, Douglas, who's going to chase down the ball but can't get there in time, and it's going to be kicked out, resulting in a Corinth throw-in. Ball is going to be kicked up by 16, Douglas, and it's going to be chased down by Baxter Elliott, but he can't get there in time. It's going to be taken by the Corinth goalkeeper.
Oxford's really putting a lot of pressure on this goalkeeper tonight. Even if the goalkeeper makes one mistake, Oxford will be there to capitalize, causing a goal.
Ball is going to be kicked by Corinth, taken down by Douglas, who's going to pass it up to 22, Stewart. It's going to be kicked up by 17, Elliott, who's going to be chasing the ball down, and is going to chip it over the goalie. It's going to be taken by Terry, who's going to attempt to cross it in. Pressure, chipped in, and taken down by the Corinth goalie with an excellent save.
Great bending shot by Terry right there. He could have bent it inside, but there appears to be a player down on the field. It looks to be
17,
Baxter Elliott, number 17.
Stop the clock.
Not quite sure what the problem is. Looks like number 4, Cortland Barnes, will be coming in for Elliott.
Well, you're supposed to stop the clock. When it says to stop the clock. Shh. And the ball will be given to the Corinth goalie, who's going to be punting it up to number 21, Snellgrove. He's going to pass number to 2, Hayden Stewart's going to be kicking it up to Terry, who's going to be sprinting down the sideline, crossing it in, and it's going to be just over their heads. It's going to be taken by number 22 on the right outside. Douglas is going to take the ball again, and the ball is chipped in, and it's taken by Corinth, but again taken by 3, Parham.
Another player who isn't really noted out there is Ty Barber. He really holds the team together. If there's a ball that needs to be won, he really takes control of the ball and is able to move the ball and really holds his team together.
What's impressive about Barber is he plays midfield and he has to be able to get up and down the field every play.
He's got great endurance.
Ooh, the ball is chipped up and it's going to be chasing down but can't get there in time. 21 Snellgrove is going to be there to clear the ball up the right side of the field. Over the heads to number 22, Hunter Stewart is going to clear it to his brother, 2, Hayden Stewart in the middle. It's going to be passed up and chased down by number 4, Barnes, who's going to attempt to get the foot but can't get it. It's taken down by the Corinth goalie.
Another great job by the Corinth goalie tonight. He's been spectacular.
Ball's going to be passed up the left side to Corinth number 10. And Douglas is going to quickly gain control but then is losing it to Corinth, who's going to take the ball up the center, and the ball is going to be recovered by Oxford, who's Ty Barber, number 7, is going to be passed to Edward Terry, number 10, who's going to do a quick scissor move, and is going to be dribbled up, is going to attempt to clear it into the goal, but is taken down by Corinth. The ball is then recovered by number 2, Hayden Stewart, and is then kicked out by Corinth player number 18.
Appears to be a substitution. Baxter Elliott is going to be coming back in for number 4, Cortland Barnes.
The pace of this offense is very fast. What do you think it's doing to the Corinth defense, Thomas?
I really think it's wearing them down. They've just been hammering them. You can't, if your defense doesn't have enough rest, they're going to get tired and slow and won't be able to function as well as they should. So it'd be really critical if Oxford could go right here.
Stewart thrown into the center field, headed by Elliott. It's going to be given to Hunter Stewart, who's going to attempt to finish it, but is taken by the Corinth goalie again. It's been an impressive second half for the Corinth goalie. It's punted up to midfield. It's going to be taken down by number 3, Parham, but then recovered by 16, Douglas, who's going to dribble at midfield, given to Parham, who's going to pass it to number 2, Hayden Stewart, dribble around, and is going to pass it back to buy some time to number 6, Dylan Rydell, back again to Snellgrove, who's going to attempt to pass it wide to Douglas, and is just tipped over his head, resulting in a Corinth throw-in around
Douglas
midfield.
has been very active this game. He's been moving up and back and down the field. He's very good at taking the ball away from others and excuse me about that. Back to you, Spraggins.
Ball is going to be taken by number 3, Parham, who's going to be passed up to number 17, Baxter Elliott, who's going to give it to Edward Terry. He's got wide open space. He's going to take a cut in and is tripped up a little bit. And the ball is going to be taken by Corinth. He's going to pass it up to number 6, Rydell, who's going to regain control. Take it across the middle, past number 7, Barber, who's going to pass it to 16, Douglas, who looks to attempt to cross it, but passes it to 22, a give and go back to Douglas, who's going to cross it in, but is going to go across the goal line and result in a Corinth goal kick.
It really looks like Douglas is being a little outside offensive player. He's been moving up the side, especially when Oxford has the ball on the opposite side. So maybe they're trying to get the ball switched. So Douglas is very good player. He could play offense and defense, so he's a very diverse player.
Douglas seems to be positioned actually at right defense, which is impressive that he can go all the way upfield and get back in time for defensive play. Ball's going to be given to number 10 in the top corner, Edward Terry, who's going to attempt to control it, but is kicked out, resulting in a Corinth throw-in. Ball thrown in by number 15. It's going to be headed and given to number 23. Ball is going to be taken wide by number 10, who's going to attempt to bring it back, but Douglas gains control, passes it to number 22, Hunter Stewart, who's going to be taking it up the right side, and attempts to cross it in to number 10, Terry, who attempts to gain control, but it's going to result in a Corinth goal kick.
There it is again. They keep switching the fields. It's a very good technique to catch the defense off guard. And also it helps get the ball into the goal. If you could get a head on the ball, foot on the ball, whatever you can get on the ball, it can help get the ball in the goal.
I feel like if there was a little less pressure by the Corinth defense, which they're doing a phenomenal job with, if there was less pressure on the right side, those crosses would be a whole lot more accurate, and it would be a deadly situation for Corinth. Ball's going to be kicked up by number 2, Hayden Stewart, to Edward Terry, who's going to attempt to chase it down, but it's going to be taken by the Corinth goalie again. Ball is punted by Corinth goalie. It's going to be headed by Hayden Stewart, and it's going to roll out of bounds, resulting in the Corinth throw-in.
Substitution on the play. Corinth is bringing in number 3 for number 5. He's filling in as left defender. So if Oxford can really take out the player, he's not quite warmed up yet, I don't think. So it should be a great way to go after the ball.
Ball is kicked up by number 3, chased down by 17. Baxter Elliott is going to be chasing down the center back, but can't get there in time. It's going to be kicked down by center back number 3, resulting in an Oxford throw-in.
Another great chance to score right here. If they can get the ball in the goal, it will really put down Corinth right here and stop their momentum. Appears to be 2 substitutions. Oh, 3, excuse me. Number 36, number 1, Tyus Hilliard, number 4, Cortland Barnes. Not sure who they're going in for yet.
Ball thrown in by Hayden Stewart, crossed, and is going to be cleared out by Corinth. Number 6, Dylan Rydell is going to take it. Give it to number 7, Barber, who's going to pass it back to 16, Douglas, who's going to pass it back again to Mayo, who's going to give it to number 22, Hunter Stewart. Is going to make a run on the right side. He's going to look for the cross, can't get the free space, crosses it to number 17, Baxter, but is kicked out by number 3 for Corinth, resulting in an Oxford throw-in. Looks like these substitutions are going to be replacing Oxford players shortly.
Edward Terry, number 10, is coming out for Tyus Hilliard, number 17, Baxter Elliott, and number 22, Hunter Stewart. So really the 3 top offensive players are coming out. It's going to be interesting to see what these 3 younger players can do, since the older players have had a tough time tonight.
Especially with a score of 0-0 with only about 25 minutes left. Ball is going to be kicked out by Corinth player, resulting in another Oxford throw-in that will be taken by number 16, Gavin Douglas. Ball is going to be cleared out again by number 3, headed by Gavin, but re-headed by Corinth player. It's going to be taken by number 5, Mayo, who's going to pass it up to number 36 for Oxford, who's going to pass it up, and cleared out by number 7 for Corinth, and it'll be another throw-in for Oxford, taken by Douglas. Pass in to number 3, Parham, who's going to give it to Barber, who's going to attempt to cross it into Barnes. It's going to be cleared out by Corinth, taken by number 3, and hit by number 1, and it's going to be recovered by the Corinth goalie, who clears it out. The ball is punted out, resulting in an Oxford throw-in, be taken by number 6, Rydell. And it's going to be hit out again by a Corinth player. The throw-in this time will be taken by Hayden Stewart.
Actually, the throw is going to be taken by Dylan Rydell. So looking to throw the ball in. Probably going to throw it down the left sideline, but he does not. He throws it towards the goal. Cortland Barnes takes the ball, but his ball is kicked out of bounds by number 2, Hayden Stewart.
Goal kick taken again by the Corinth goalkeeper. By number 17, Corinth defender. Goal kick is taken and placed around midfield, but is headed by number 3, Parham, who's going to be headed by number 36 and cleared out by Corinth. Ball is going to be taken by Douglas for a throw-in, and it's going to be thrown down to number 36 and chased down, but he just can't get there, and it's going to be kicked out by number 36, resulting in a Corinth goal kick.
I think Oxford really needs to settle down a little bit. They're getting too excited, I think, near the goal. That's why they're resulting in bad kicks. Going to be, looks close to be a 3-player substitution about to come in. Number 14, number 12, Tristan Norman, and number 11, Dion Kevin. Probably going to be top 3.
Ball is going to be fed up, but is going to be kicked out by Corinth, and the throw-in will be taken by Dylan Rydell.
Substitution, number 14 is coming in for Malik Dagestani is coming in for number 2. Dion Kevin and number 12, Tristan Norman, are also coming in.
Ball thrown into Hilliard, but is going to be taken out again by Corinth. Throw-in will be taken by Dion Kevin, thrown to number 1, Hilliard, who is going to, the ball is just rebounded off his back, and is taken back by Tristan Orman. Dion Kevin gains control of the ball, looks to pass it back to 6, Rydell, who crosses it across the goal to 16, Douglas, with pressure from Corinth. It's going to be headed to number 36, who's going to kick it up, and Barnes sprinting at it, but can't get there in time. Ball is recovered by Corinth goalie, who will punt the ball out. This has been impressive speed by both Oxford and Corinth this time, especially by Barnes.
Yes, all 3 top players are very fast tonight. Defense has really been worked. Here comes number 1, Tyus Hilliard, making an attempt at a cross, but is kicked out wide. It's going to result in a Corinth goal kick. Number 17 to take the goal kick.
Kick is taken by number 17. Corinth gains control of the ball, but is quickly taken by number 5, Mayo, who passes up to 36. It is intercepted by Corinth, but quickly taken back again by 36, who's dribbling up the sideline. Crosses number 4, Barnes, who heads it. Attempts to chase it down. And nearly stops before it goes out of bounds, but unfortunately resulting in a Corinth throw-in. Ball is kicked out by Oxford again, resulting in a Corinth throw-in. Throw is taken and given to number 2, but is missed and is kicked up, and it's going to be a chase by a very quick player on Corinth, but Snellgrove is going to get to it. Oh, but a shove in the back, and Corinth's going to take it again, but he is taken down by Oxford player number 6, and it appears that there is a player down on the field for Corinth.
He appears to be hurt, number 23. Not sure what caused it. Could have been the fall. It could have actually been he pulled something, but not quite sure. He's holding his head. Maybe he's got a head injury.
It seemed that when he went down, there were a few players around him. He might have been accidentally kicked or stepped on in that situation. Kick will be taken by number 2 for Corinth. This is a very, very dangerous play. Score is still 0-0 with 20 minutes left. This game could just be, or this play might just be a game changer if they can score.
There will be no substitution for, there is a substitution for number 23. Number 7 is coming in to take his spot. Number 23 out there has really been hustling around. You can tell by the way he's been running that he really wants to score and win this game.
Kick is taken and crossed in, but taken down by Webb.
Webb's first real action tonight.
Ball is punted way past midfield, nearly to number 4, Barnes, almost to the 18. Ball is then chased down by number 1. Hilliard is going to attempt to finish it, but is kicked out by Corinth player number 3. That was an impressive kick by Webb, and also very impressive by Barnes and Hilliard, who have run down that ball very, very quickly.
It's going to be a dangerous corner kick right here for Oxford. If they can put this ball in, it will be great time to score.
Again, these set pieces near the goal are very, very critical, especially games as close as this.
So, Andrew, how important do you think this corner kick is tonight?
Well, as I said, as any set piece near the goal right now is very, very important because one goal could be the side of the game right here. And kick will be taken by number 14, crossed in, and is headed by Corinth up in the air, headed down by number 12, Tristan Orman, who's going to attempt to control the ball again, and passes up to number 6, Rydell, who attempts to cross it with pressure. Corinth clears the ball out, taken down by Tristan Orman, and again taken by Corinth. Taken back by number 11, Dion Kevin, and it's going to be kicked back to number 16, Douglas, midfield, away from the 18. It's going to be kicked down to Barnes, Hilliard, back to Rydell at number 6, and with pressure from Corinth, nearly takes the ball, but Rydell regains coverage, and it's going to be an Oxford throw-in. Seemed to be a little roughhousing down on the field. Referee came in to clear everything out. Thrown by number 6, Rydell, down the field to Hilliard, but the ball is going to be taken by Corinth, but still pressure from Hilliard, and number 12, Orman. It's going to be kicked out by Corinth, resulting in Oxford throw-in, and there seem to be multiple substitutions.
Looks to be the entire top 3 has now been rested. Number 3, Nolan Parham. Number 10, Edward Terry. Number 22, Hunter Stewart. Number 17, Baxter Elliott. Number 7, Ty Barber. Number 2, Hayden Stewart are all going to come back in. Great time to switch. The defense is going to be very tired, and now that Oxford has fresh legs with their very effective and powerful players up top, it should be a good time to score.
Seems that they're going to wait to substitute 3 Parham in. But, as Thomas said, all the top forwards with fresh legs are going back in. This is very dangerous. Throw-in taken by number 11, Dion Kevin, to the middle. And it's going to be kicked by 22 just over the goal, right through the uprights, resulting in a Corinth goal kick.
Substitution number 3, Parham, is going to be coming in for, appears to be number 11, Dion Kevin. Good little scissors kick right there by Hunter Stewart trying to get the goal. Risky, but good chance.
Goal kick will be taken by number 17. It is kicked around midfield. And 16, Gavin Douglas, is going to be attempting to dribble up, but pressure, and he's shoved down. And the foul will be called by the referee, resulting in a free kick for Oxford near the midfield point.
Oxford has their big guns up there right now. If they can get the ball down to them, it should be a great opportunity.
Kick taken by Mayo, placed beautifully. It's going to be headed by Parham. And it's going to be kicked by Snellgrove, just blocked by the goalie. Kicked again and again by 22,
goal,
resulting in an Oxford goal.
Not quite sure who put the ball in right there. Very, very many bodies on there. Just like I said, Oxford got their fresh legs in. A lot of confusion around the goal, so that they were able to take the opportunity and put the ball in. It was really hard to see down there if you're the goalie. There's so many bodies. Hard to tell where the ball is going. And also, if you have fresh legs, you can blast the ball.
There were a few impressive blocks by the goalie in that play right there, but just one too many kick. And I believe, was it number 22?
I think so.
22, Hunter Stewart, was there to put the ball in the back of the net.
So in the 18th minute, Oxford scores, making the game 1-0.
And pressure from Oxford again. Pass back to number 6, Rydell in defense. He's going to attempt to dribble around this Corinth player. He's going to pass it up to Terry, but is not going to get there, and it's going to result in an Oxford throw-in. Game seemed to be getting very heated down there. Thrown by number 6 to number 10, Terry, who's going to attempt to push through, but it's going to be kicked out by Corinth, resulting in another Oxford throw-in near the 18 box.
Another very dangerous place to be. Dion, Kevin, Hunter, and Hayden Stewart can both really throw the ball in there. So the goalie's got to be ready, and the defense has definitely got to be ready.
That goal might have been just what the Oxford team needed to boost their morale and increase their pace. Their pressure seems to be increasing the ball a lot.
Also, I think it's put the defense down a little bit now that Oxford's finally gotten into score. They've been pushed down so much. I really think that goal could have either broken the team or just pushed them down a little bit more.
Number 2, Hayden Stewart, to take the throw, is going to be thrown into the middle and is going to result in a Corinth throw-in, or a Corinth goal kick taken by number 17. With some substitution for Corinth. Appears number 21 is coming in. The kick is taken by number 17. Pressure by number 3, Nolan Parham. And Douglas, but Corinth maintains possession of the ball, passed up inside, and is going to attempt to take it up, but pressure from Mayo, gaining control of the ball, resulting in an Oxford throw-in.
Great shielding right there by Mayo, allowed to get the throw in so they can head back upfield. Not great for Corinth, though, because they're really starting to get their momentum back up. But it appears that Mayo just was able to shield the ball, and that's sometimes just how it works out.
Ball is cleared up again by Corinth, but is kicked out, resulting in an Oxford throw-in taken by number 16, Douglas. Corinth regains possession of the ball. It's passed to the middle. Number 3, Parham, taking the ball. Kicked wide to number 6, Rydell, who's going to clear the ball up the field, but is taken down by Corinth player number 20. Douglas regaining possession, passing number 2, Hayden Stewart, back to Hunter Stewart, back to Hayden Stewart, who's going to attempt to dribble through, and is going to put the ball, is going to attempt to dribble through again, but is going to be cleared out to Edward Terry, who's going to look for the cross, crosses it in, and is going to be batted out by the Corinth goalkeeper, and the shot's going to be taken by multiple Oxford players, but blocked again by Corinth, and the ball will be cleared out by Corinth. Number 6, Rydell takes the ball, passes up to 2, Hayden Stewart.
Number 17, Baxter Elliott, looking for the handball in there. Not quite sure if there was one. Hard to tell with so many bodies in the box.
Ball will be kicked out by number 2 for Corinth, resulting in an Oxford throw-in.
Player down for Corinth on the defense. It would appear they're stretching his left leg. Maybe he hurt his hamstring while he was running. Or during the slide, it's very easy to pull a muscle out here where it's cold, hard ground, and you've been running around all game.
There seems to be some heated conversation between the referee and Corinth players. Also, Corinth coaches out there to see if everybody is okay. And there will be no substitution for the player. And Corinth coaches jog off the field.
Number 3 appears to be limping off the field and has been substituted for number 7.
Corinth player coming onto the field, what appears to be number 14.
It's going to be a Oxford throw-in.
Be taken by number 2, Hayden Stewart.
It's going to be now taken by Dylan Rydell, number 6.
Throw-in taken by number 6, Dylan Rydell. It's going to be kicked by number 2 for Corinth. It's going to be headed by Barber, but Corinth is going to regain control. Pressure from Oxford. It's going to be crossed to the middle.
Number 2, Hayden Stewart, to regain control of the ball. Passes it to his brother, Hunter. He's going down the sideline. Makes a great cross, but Hunter's unable to get to the ball. Kicked out. It's going to result in a Oxford corner kick. Now that Oxford has those fresh legs, and hopefully they'll be able to get in and actually score on this play. If they can do so, it would also put the defense down more, and they'd be able to score more as well.
This is the cushion that Oxford needs right here. 14 minutes left in the game. Number 2, Hayden Stewart crossing the ball in.
Great little header right there
That'll be
by number
headed out.
22.
And result in a Corinth goal kick.
Number 17, Corinth has the ball, clears the ball out. It's going to result in a Oxford throw-in taken by number 6, Dylan Rydell.
Rydell throwing the ball into number 7, Barber, who's going to chest it and pass it back to Rydell, who's going to pass it back to Snellgrove. Attempting to gain some ground, but blocked by Corinth player. It's going to be cleared out by number 5, Mayo, to number 3, Parham. Barber taking the ball to number 16, Douglas, who's going to attempt to chip the ball up, but is taken by Corinth and resulting in an Oxford throw-in. Throw-in taken by number 16, Douglas. To number 3, Parham, but is taken by Corinth and chipped up, headed back by Dylan Rydell, and it's going to be what appears to be number 23 chasing the ball down, slide tackle from behind, and Rydell is going to clear the ball across to Douglas, who's going to attempt to control it, but is going to result in a Corinth throw-in. Substitution on the play appears to be number 3, substituting for number 14.
Great pressure right there by Corinth offense. Really were very close to getting the ball past the defense. One of Oxford's weakness with their defense is if you put a through ball through their defense, then you can have one of your faster players run through, and that could lead to a breakaway, causing a goal.
Number 11, Dylan Rydell coming in for number 22, Hunter Stewart. Ball is cleared out to number 10, Edward Terry, with wide open space. Pressure coming from number 15 from Corinth. Edward out running, but taking a step back just to gain some time, and is going to be taking on a defender with a nice little scissor move, and is going to attempt to shoot the ball in, but the ball is going to be taken by Corinth goalkeeper and will be punted out.
Edward Terry could have had a little bit better placement right there. If he'd put the ball a little farther back, I'm fairly sure that Oxford would have been able to regain control of the ball and actually get a shot off.
Ball is passed wide to number 18, but pressure from Hayden Stewart forces an error, and Terry takes the ball, passes to Barber. Pass to number 3, Parham, who's going to give it to Ty Barber, passing it wide to number 6, Rydell, who's going to cross to number 16, Douglas, heading it up to number 11, Kevin, and the ball is going to be chipped inward, and it's going to be taken out by a Corinth player, resulting in an Oxford corner kick.
Looks like the Corinth defense is really wearing down a little bit. They're making more and more mistakes, so Oxford just needs to capitalize on these.
And that corner kick headed out by Oxford player, resulting in a Corinth goal kick. Corner kick taken again by number 17 for Corinth. Goal kick, excuse me. And it's going to be attempted handled by number 2, Stewart, but it's going to be taken by number 7, Barber for Oxford, crossing over to 16, Douglas. But the ball is going to be taken again by Corinth player, but then taken by 17, Elliott. And the ball is going to be kicked out, resulting in an Oxford thrown in to number 11, Dion Kevin.
Oxford tried to get that substitution in there, number 12, Tristan Norman. Now he does get the substitution in. Tristan Norman is a very deadly player with the ball. Usually he threads the ball through the needle sometimes with the goal. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do out there.
Footwork is also impressive, as you said earlier. Tristan is one of the few sophomore starters. Throw in taken by number 11, Dion Kevin, and it's going to be headed out by Oxford, resulting in a Corinth goal kick with 9 minutes and 10 seconds left in the half. This looks like it's going to become a very close game, and Corinth's got to do something to at least tie the game.
Still a very close game. Even a goal can cause an equalizer.
Ball is taken by 16, Douglas, but is then taken by Corinth and shoved down to the ground in a very, very dirty move, and it looks like the referee is going over to talk to the player who shoved Douglas down.
Usually, the card system works as usually the player gets 2 warnings. After the first warning, if it's severe enough, then he will give the yellow card. And then after that, if he receives another yellow card, he will get a red card and will be ejected from the game and cannot play in the next.
The kick is taken by number 5, Mayo, and this is very dangerous for Corinth. It's a set piece and close enough for a scoring opportunity. It's headed by number 7, Barber, and taken again by Barber, who's going to attempt to cross it out. And ball is taken by number 12, Orman, and it's going to be passed back to the defense. It's going to be taken by Snellgrove, but loses control and manages to get it out, but it's going to be kicked back again to the defense, and Snellgrove takes it again. Ball is given to 12, Orman, with a bad touch. Corinth regains control and is attempting to pass the ball up, but is continuously intercepted. Number 5, Mayo, attempts to clear the ball up and is given to 17, Elliott, who's going to run down, but it's going to be cleared by number 3 for Corinth, resulting in an Oxford throw-in halfway between the 18 box and the halfway point.
Oxford cannot get sloppy right now. There's still plenty of time left for an equalizer goal. Also, there's going to be 2 substitutions. Nolan Parham is going to be coming in for number 10, Edward Terry, and number 12, Tristan Norman is coming out for number 22, Hunter Stewart.
Throw-in taken by Douglas. It's going to be kicked out by Corinth, resulting in another Oxford throw-in. Ball thrown in again, and Corinth manages to regain control and is passed back and forth going down the left side, and it's going to be taken out by a Corinth player, resulting in an Oxford throw-in, thrown in by Douglas again. Ball is taken by 11, Kevin. Baxter Elliott maintaining control, but it's going to be kicked out again by Corinth near the 18 box.
Corinth really needs to step up and get their offense working. They can't just keep getting rid of the ball and then losing control again and then having to fight and fight and fight again for the ball. It's not really going to work unless you have a breakaway, which doesn't appear to be happening right now.
Ball thrown in by 11, headed in by number 2, Hayden Stewart, for another Oxford goal. The score is 2-0 with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left. Your Oxford Chargers leading.
Great play right there. It all started with the throw-in that was forced by tired defenders, like I said. And then so the throw was taken, and great throw. Unable to get up because of they were so tired from even trying to clear the ball. They're able just to head the ball in easily. Goalie doesn't even make an attempt because he knows he can't get to it. Great play right there by Oxford.
Like we said, set pieces and especially throw-ins taken from that close are almost as equal to set pieces, which right now, as we can see, have been proven deadly against Corinth. Ball is cleared up by number 2, Corinth player, but it's going to be chased down by Corinth player, and Snellgrove is going to pass it back to Henry Webb, who's going to attempt to clear it out, but gives it right back to Corinth player, number 10, who's going to pass it to 23, pass it back to 10, but it's going to be cleared out by Oxford again to a Corinth player, and it's going to be taken by number 21, Snellgrove, who's going to attempt to clear it out. Ball kicked up in the air by Corinth, headed by another Corinth player. And Henry Webb is there to recover the ball.
This game is not over. There's still plenty of time to score 2 goals. You can score 2 goals in less than a minute, so Oxford really needs to be careful right here about how they play with the ball.
Webb punting the ball past midfield and is going to be kicked out by a Corinth player, resulting in an Oxford throw-in.
Here's Hunter again with those deep throws that have been leading to goals.
Stewart throwing into Stewart. Corinth throwing in the ball, and it's going to attempt to clear it, but is muffed and resulting in an Oxford throw-in that will be again taken by Hunter Stewart.
Looks like number 8, Ansel Robinson, is going to be coming in for a substitution for number 2, Hayden Stewart. Ansel Robinson is another one of those sophomores. He's very tall and very fast and can really put a beating on the defense.
Ball will be taken by number 16, Gavin Douglas, near the halfway point. Pass wide to Baxter Elliott, who's going to look for a man to pass to. Pass back to Douglas, and it's going to be taken by Corinth. Corinth's going to pass the ball up to number 8, Robinson. And it's going to pass up to Douglas, but he can't get there, and it's going to result in a Corinth throw-in with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half.
Also, one of the interesting things about the field is it's not flat, it's sloped, so you have to take a little bit off your passes or else it's going to end up going out of bounds.
Ball taken by number 3, Parham, and it's going to be given to number 11, Kevin. And ball is going to be taken again by Corinth, but with pressure from Oxford. And number 2 is going to be dribbling up the field for Corinth. And he's going to pass it wide, and the ball is going to be kicked up. And it's going to be chased down, but can't get there in time, resulting in an Oxford throw-in near the 18 box.
2 substitutions. Number 36 is going to be coming in for number 22, Hunter Stewart. And number 4, Cortland Barnes,
will be substituting for number 16, Gavin Douglas.
Really the first time Gavin Douglas has been out of the game. He's been doing a fantastic job. He's got a well-earned rest coming up. With only 3 minutes left in the game, Oxford appears to have the game going, but you can never know for sure.
Throw in taken by number 11, Kevin, and it's going to be passed up the field and taken by Corinth, and it's going to be taken down by number 2 for Corinth, but it's going to be taken by Barber. It's going to be attempted kicked up, but is going to result in an Oxford throw-in and is kicked out by Corinth. Throw-in taken by number 11, Kevin. And it's going to be taken out again by Corinth.
I think that second goal really put down the Corinth defense. I mean, they don't even really appear to be alive anymore. They just seem to be kicking the ball out, clearing the ball, not really trying to make a play, just clearing.
Thrown in again, headed out by Corinth. It'll be given to number 11, Kevin. And the ball is going to be kicked out by Corinth again. It seems to me that the entire Corinth team is just falling apart with their touches and effort.
I agree. The only player who has really stand out to me tonight, who's trying to hold the team together, is the goalie. He's been playing phenomenally. Playing fantastic. So if he can get this team back in there, maybe they can come back down and score.
Number 12, Orman, subbing in for number 3, Parham. The ball is thrown in and attempted to be blocked, but it'll be taken by Oxford, and the goalie seems to recover it again.
Again, a great play by the goalie.
Ball will be punted, not quite making half field, and it'll be taken by number 8, Ansel Robinson. Will head it wide, number 36. Pass it back to 6, Rydell, and 36 again crossing into Barnes. And the ball will be taken by Corinth again. 36 giving pressure on the ball. Corinth attempting to clear the ball out wide, but 36 applying pressure again. And is going to attempt to take control, but it's going to be cleared out by number 17, and the ball is going to go wide on the right side, resulting in an Oxford throw-in.
Oxford's really going to take their time right now getting these throw-ins. They're just trying to waste the clock to make the game even come winding down to 0 to make it a 2-0 Oxford victory.
Baxter Elliott being subbed out for number 14, Malik Pakistani.
Going to be a Corinth throw, number 2. He throws the ball into number 16, passes it to number 18, but the ball is quickly taken away and given to number 36, Neil Chandler.
Ball's cleared out by number 6, Dylan Rydell, and will be taken by 14, Dagestani, who attempts to clear the ball up, but the referee blows a whistle, resulting in a Corinth free kick.
With 30 seconds left in the game, Corinth either has to score 2 quick goals, which is unlikely with this iron Oxford defense. It's going to look like it's going to be a shutout for Henry Webb.
And the ball is kicked by 17, and it'll be handled by Henry Webb.
10 seconds left. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
And that's the game. The Oxford Chargers winning 2-0 here at Bobby Holcomb Field. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. On main camera tonight was Sudu Upadhyaya and Drake Taylor. Our producer was Aditya Ravishankar. On sideline was Sudu Upadhyaya. And, of course, calling your game with me tonight was Thomas Murphy. On behalf of the Charger Online live streaming staff, I'm Andrew Spraggins, wishing you a good night.